Hello guys, Aspener. I'm out hiking. It's a beautiful day today, but it's extremely windy. So just gonna take a quick hike. Actually got some snow too, not much, but it's cold. It's -5 degrees, and with the wind, that's pretty bad. But it's nice to have some sun too. But it's gonna be a cold day, that's for sure. Today I'm gonna go out and test my Sony ZV-1 camera I had for a while and just started using it actually. It's a great little camera, perfect for my style. It's a so-called vlogging camera. It's not waterproof of course, and you can't change the lens, but it seems to be a pretty good camera to use and it's fun. I'm shooting now with my GoPro Hero 10, and sorry for the wind noise. It's windy, not so much here, but pretty soon. So we're gonna play a little bit with my Sony ZV-1 and see how that camera is, and of course I'm gonna give you my opinion on it. Is it the perfect vlogging camera or YouTube camera for most people? It's quite cheap, not expensive camera. You can get many cameras in that price range, but I see that the 4K footage from that camera looks really good. It does. It's beautiful image quality, and you have some kind of stabilization with it. It's so-called steady shot, but you get a massive crop when you use it. But it's not easy to shoot handheld with a small camera like that, and it's pretty easy to get some kind of shaky image. So you can of course use a gimbal with it, and then it would look much better, and then you don't need to use the active stabilization with the crop. But I tested it, was out filming with it yesterday. I have one video up where I'm just shooting with the Sony ZV-1. You can watch that up here. It's just my two years anniversary on YouTube, so please check that out. But today I'm gonna play a little bit more with my Sony ZV-1. I have to learn that camera, learn to use camera. I'm not a camera geek, but a camera nerd. I just wanna of course be better, and maybe we can invest in some other cameras later. I had the Panasonic G9. That was a really good camera, but for my use it was actually too fancy for me, and it was quite big, but beautiful image quality. And you of course you had a bigger sensor on that camera, but it was too much for me to use. You have so many choices and settings. I just want a camera that I can pull it out of my pocket and just start using right away, and that you can do with the Sony ZV-1. Of course, you get better in manual settings. It's better to use in that way, of course. That's with all cameras, but yeah, I'm just learning it. So for me, just a beginning with a new camera. So yeah, it's a beautiful day today. Yeah guys, as you can see, it's snowing quite a lot. I was planning to use my Sony ZV-1. I think it's still possible to use it, just have to wait for the snow to go away. I'm still using my GoPro Hero 10. I'm now shooting in 5.3K 60 frames. I just want to see if it's possible to create some nice shots with the GoPro. It's a good camera, that's for sure, but I had some complaining with it, some issues or bugs. And when I'm shooting in high frame rates or high resolution and my battery is around 40%, it shuts down for some strange reason when I still got battery left. So that's a typical GoPro problem, I don't know. Leave a comment down below if that's something that you are also experiencing with the GoPro. Oh, it's snowing a lot. Let me turn this way. Get some snow on the lens and see if that coating works on the GoPro Hero 10. But yeah, it's a winter day here in Norway. What can you do? Just the way it is. So we're gonna find a place and just sit down a little bit and see if the snow goes away. Let's do that. I was planning to have some fun with the Sony ZV-1 today, but it's too freaking cold. So I just want to film a little bit with it and all auto just to see. I have active stab on. I'm in the woods, so it's quite up and down, and it's windy as hell. The Sony ZV-1 seems to be an excellent camera, especially for my kind of use. I can't use it that much outdoor, of course, in extreme conditions, but that's not what it's meant for. This camera is meant for it's a kind of city camera, pocket camera, point and shoot camera, but it's easy to use, and if you shoot him in movie mode with it, you can actually use anti-filters on this camera. That's just excellent. Inboard anti-filters isn't normal for a camera in this price range. Now I'm walking into low light situations, so just see how the camera performs. This is an all auto, seems to be that, yeah. So and active stab. You can shoot in 4K 30, you can shoot up to 120 in 1080p, and you have some kind of high frame rate mode. I haven't tested that yet. I think you can shoot all the way up to 960 frames, so that's extreme, but I think you only can shoot in short bursts, a couple of seconds, so I don't see the point of using that at all, but it's fun to have, of course. As a vlogging camera, I'm using a Ulanzi stick. I have the camera 30 centimeters from my face, but it crops in pretty much when you're using active stab, and I think you have to use that if you don't using a gimbal with this camera. If you're walking extremely slowly on a flat ground, you can use standard, then you don't have that crop. But for auto use and walking and talking to the camera, I think you have to use active stab, and then it's too close to my face. I know that, so you can see all my wrinkles and all everything. But overall, it's a good camera. It's fun to use, it's easy to use. The battery life isn't good at all, but it's nice. It's a good camera. So let me see how it's exposed to my face and to the background. And you have some nice functions with this camera. This camera is especially good for streaming and of course studio use. If you use it indoor, you have some product showcase and you have some defocus buttons, so it's for people that are showing off products and making reviews. This is an excellent camera, and I think for me as an outdoor person, it's quite nice to use. So I'm gonna learn this camera and play with it and use it for vlogging combined with my action cameras. I think this can be a really good camera. So in my opinion, you get a lot of camera for the money. I think the price is around $700, something like that. Of course, we're getting into New Year, and the Sony ZV-1, I think it's 2 years old now. So it's about time that Sony make a new pocket camera for people on a budget. Maybe around the same price range. But then I'm really hoping for a pocket camera with the inboard lens like this for around the same price, but a little bit more wider field of view. You have the Sony ZV-1, then you can change the lens on that camera, and the price on that is a little bit more than the Sony ZV-1 with the kit lens. It's a APC sensor. Seems to be a pretty good camera also. So I don't know if Sony is going to make a new Sony ZV-1 or ZV-2 camera with a built-in lens. They could do that, and they should do that, because for people like me and for vloggers, just want a point-and-shoot camera that you can actually put in your pocket, because the Sony ZV-1 is too big to put in a pocket. It is. So you have some extra gear to take with you with the lens and all of that. But this is a great camera for people that are traveling, taking family memories, and just have fun with it. And like I said, the image quality is really beautiful on this camera. And I actually really like the Sony colors. Looks really nice. I know a lot of people are saying that the Canon has much better colors, and that's probably true. Then you have the Canon M50, which I also had for a short time, but I didn't like that camera, and you can only shoot in 1080p. You can shoot in 4K, but then you don't have the autofocus, and you don't have any stabilization at all. And that was bad, but that was a good camera. And I think you can get that for around $500 US. So my recommendation on the Sony ZV-1, yes, it's a good camera. If you are on a budget, just buy it. And you can actually get great deals on it, quite cheap, if you just look around a little bit. So it's a great camera. I bought this camera used. I can't remember exactly how much, but it wasn't that expensive. And I haven't been using it much at all. I have a wide-angle lens for this camera. I have tested it, but not much. I think you lose some image quality when you're using a wide-angle lens, but Ulanzi seems to be a pretty good quality product, so maybe the best wide-angle lens for this camera. Because the best thing is not to attach anything to the camera. And now I'm using actually the inboard mic, and it's pretty good. It's windy today, so I really hope the audio is good enough. But it seems to be doing a good job to focusing on my voice. So, and like I said, I'm a guy just want something simple, just a point-and-shoot camera, take up from my pocket and just shoot something. Is this a film camera? Absolutely not. You have much better option out there, but you have to pay more, of course. But for beginners and too advanced, I think this camera is pretty good. You see some big YouTubers actually using this camera. Peter Lindgren is one of them. He's using that camera all the time. And I think Tapo, brother to Maddie, also using this camera as a vlog camera. Of course, they have much more expensive gear to use too, so. But I think they use it, especially when they are out and just want to capture something quick. You don't have to carry around with a big fat camera. But yeah. Sorry guys, I was planning to shoot much more today, shooting a bunch of B-rolls with this camera, but I'm freezing my ass off. It's minus 5 degrees and it's windy as hell, and I have a bit of a cold. So this was just a short vlog test outdoor with the Sony ZV-1 on a beautiful Norwegian winter day. So I hope you enjoy it, and of course will subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.